How's it going, my people? Biker Dave here, working on this Yamaha YZ250. This will apply to pretty much any of the recent models from 2002 on up. And looking at the governor assembly, which can be quite tricky to put together. We're doing a complete bottom end rebuild and working on the transmission. See our previous video on that as far as assembling the transmission properly. But what we're looking at now is the good old governor. All these nifty little parts have to be layered exactly. Notice, make sure you have your service manual, of course, because it does show you precisely how everything goes together. And as far as what lubricants you have to install. So it's not that impossible to do. I always recommend that when you're taking things apart that are, rather intricate like this, make sure you lay them all out exactly. Take some pictures, beforehand so that you can see exactly how it went together. Because you know as well as I do that, yeah, the service manual helps, but I think it's a good supplement if you can do photos or video of what you're looking at on your specific model, on your workbench and that sort of thing. It just makes things easier. Anyway, we're going to put it together. What needs to be replaced is these two bearings right here, as far as what's recommended to be replaced. So, we're going to do that. Everything else looks good, though. There's nothing broken, nothing damaged, nothing excessively worn. So, as far as taking it apart, it's not that big a deal. It is sprung, so you have to squeeze it together. You have to squeeze all this together in order to pull this pin out that's at the very top of this shaft right here. So you can do that any number of ways. I actually put it horizontally in this vise, and then you can control it very easily. So you're not struggling, to push it down and put the pin in and all that. I just used a very light pressure with my bench vise, and it made it very easy to control all this, because it could come flying apart once you pull that spring loose and pull this pin out. So, do that however you want to, but I use a little bench vise, and it just made things easier. Anyway, we're going to put the camera up on our little overhead mount and let you see how everything goes together. So hang tight. All right, first we'll start with the shaft, and this gear, of course, has to face this way. It also recommends that you lubricate everything while you're assembling it. You can use assembly lube or lithium grease. Your service manual will tell you all that, but I like to use assembly lube. It's a specific thing that it just helps things stick together, and the first time you crank, it'll have nice lubrication already in it. It just makes dry starts much better for any kind of new rebuild. Anyway, so we'll put this gear on the shaft, like so. And for demonstration, as well as for making this easier to put together, I like to install things like this on a little portable bench vise like this. You can get this, pretty much anywhere, but I'll put a link down below for the one that I use. And all right, moving right along, the spring will be next, called a compression spring. Set it down right there. Then number 9 on the list, you'll see it's called just a plate, and it faces down. So it basically goes inside the spring. This little collar right here goes inside the spring right there. Number 6 is just a plain washer. No big deal. And then the little bearing, number 7, is called a thrust bearing. This needs to be replaced when you rebuild this. And you can order that from a Yamaha dealer. Part number will be, in your service manual. Set that guy there. Then another plain washer, number 6 again, right there. Then a little collar that sits on top of it. All right, moving right along. Another plain flat washer. Then moving on, the other little thrust bearing, number 7. Sits right on there. Then another plain flat washer, number 6. Set it right there. Then number 5, it's called the retainer weight. It also has a collar that will point downward into it. So it basically rides inside all of this. It's what holds it all in place and centered and everything. So you'll have to wiggle a little bit. Like so. Then the only real tricky item is the retainer itself. It's kind of funky because it has 4 little ball bearing, little balls that go inside it there. Okay, so flip it over. Make sure the balls stay in place. You know, make sure they're not that big a deal. It should stay in place just like so. All right, and as you've found, it's very difficult to push that spring down. So I like to put it in a basic bench vise like this. And just make sure you line up the slot on the retainer. Okay, and you can push it in some with your vise, just carefully. Notice it'll just hold still like that instead of struggling with it, and then you can just push the pin in. Make sure you center it like so, and then slowly back it out and make sure that it seats fully down in there, and there you have it. Okay, this is exactly why I like to use a vise like this instead of just trying to push down on it with your hands, because it's just difficult. You know, it's sprung and it's a very strong spring and it just tries to fly all over the place, and you know, I just prefer to do this method. So take that info as you will. All right, and service manual wants you to put transmission oil inside the ball area here, but I'm sure you can use pretty much any oil or assembly lube. And it also recommends lithium-based grease for the thrust bearings that are in there. So that's what I'm reading straight out of the service manual. And that's that. Not that big a deal. All right, now finishing up with the governor here. If everything is assembled correctly, notice this slot right here, which means those two, the way the washers have to face each other, you have to have that slot correct, because this slot is what's going to fit in the governor arm, the actuator arm right here. Okay, so just make sure you've got that correct. And to insert it, you know, you'll just lift up on the arm here. And you may have to, you know, it may take a little jiggling, a little jimmying, whatsoever, you know, whatnot to get it down in there. But that rod right there has to fit in this slot. Okay? So just take your time. Give it a little wiggle, you know. It'll get in there. And that's that. And test it out. It should move. You know, it should be able to spin, as well as move up and down like so. Okay, and then to pull it out, you just tilt it like that. You know, you should probably replace that bearing right there if you haven't. And also, you should probably remove these Allens here and slide this out and clean off these pieces here, and probably, you know, give it some lubrication, maybe a little bit of assembly lube, or a little transmission lubricant, you know, because this needs to move freely. Okay, And if it's really sloppy, I mean, it's supposed to have a little bit of slack to it, but if yours is in really rough shape and looks excessively worn all through here, or it's bent, or, you know, just really bad, unfortunately, you may have to replace the whole thing, and that's not cheap. But anyway, that's all there is to it. We also did the water pump impeller right there. See our other video on that. That one's pretty self-explanatory. We're doing a nice Boysen water pump cover, because I already have Boysen clutch cover and ignition covers that I've already had on this bike. So we're just topping it off, you know, with some good-looking go-fast parts, so to speak. Anyway, that definitely deserves a ring of the bell and a ring of the bell. The victory bells, we call them. When things go well and things go back together the way they're supposed to, or the way you hope they should, that's always a good feeling, because, you know, sometimes if you've never done some of this stuff before, it can be tricky. You know, so you try to watch videos and things and teach yourself how to do it. You're trying to save some money and, you know, replace these items yourself. Rebuilding a bottom end is not impossible. You just have to take your time. Make sure you've ordered all of the parts ahead of time, because there's going to be a lot of them. Lots of little parts that the service manual recommends you replace when you break into your lower end of your engine. So make sure you've ordered everything in advance. I know that's hard to do because you don't really know until you break it open what all's down in there. But if you just follow your service manual, it'll tell you what's recommended to be replaced. But I know sometimes you don't know how worn out parts are until you've opened it up. So that's the rough part. So many little teensy parts that need to be replaced, you know. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, if you've got motocross bikes that you're trying to fix things on, or basic maintenance, servicing, carburetor work, you know, stuff that's not that impossible for the average guy to do, but you just want a little help here and there, just scan through our channel and you'll probably find something that'll help you. And that's it for now. Stay up on our channel, like, subscribe, follow, and make sure you click the bell so that you get notified when we post a new video. That's it. Y'all have a good evening. Biker Dave here in the shop down in the East Cobb, Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all have a great day.